Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 BMW X3 M Competition. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely check out their website. That link is down in the description. This X3 is finished off in a Brooklyn Gray Metallic. Its MSRP is $90,000. And this is powered by a 3-liter twin-power turbo inline 6-cylinder paired to that 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 503 horsepower, 457 pound-feet of torque, sent through that xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,600-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. It has a top speed of 170 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons. You'll expect to see around 15 miles per gallon in the city, 20 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.8 inches. Its overall length is 186. It has a width of 74.7 and a height of 65.7 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this X3 M Competition, let's start off with the Shadowline package that is on this comp. So that gives it all the gloss black up front, including the entire kidney grille. There's a integrated forward-facing camera and no obstructions for the amount of cooling into that engine. So it has a lot of aerodynamics and a lot of cooling within that grille. All of the gloss black works its way to the lower section too. There's a forward-facing sensor for the adaptive cruise and then large inlets on both sides. Just to give it that much more cooling and aero, we have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with that dark housing too to match all the gloss black. And then some nice subtle lines running down the hood with the BMW badge front and center. I think the Shadowline package definitely sets it apart versus some of the other accents like the chrome that you can get. You also get the 21-inch wheels with that multi-spoke pattern. We have the M Sport brake calipers finished off in black, along with that gloss black trim piece just behind the tire with the X3M badge. Power folding side mirrors are gloss black too with the camera and the integrated turn signal. Roof racks, we have the full panoramic sunroof. All the window trim is blacked out too. Really nice theme going on, as you can tell. There's also great lines in the lower section of the door with the lower side skirt and those contours that you can easily see, along with that crisp line at the door handles. Gives it a really good side look. Now in back, this has a body colored spoiler with the third brake light, some gloss black accents on both sides. Wiper blade is in the middle. Has dark housings for those LED taillights to match up front, of course. More gloss black with all these sensors, backup camera too. And you can even remote start this. You just triple tap the button on the key fob, the lock button. You can use that to shut it off too. This can also tow right around 4,500 pounds. So it's pretty capable for the smaller size that it is. And you can also use the button on the key fob to open up that power liftgate or the one located up top. And with the back seats up, the X3 is not the smallest SUV from BMW. There's the X1 and the X2. You have a good amount of space located in the back. There's even the spare tire up underneath the floor. You could use that for extra storage. This has the cover that you can use as needed, and you can fold down all 3 seats to give you that much more space. You could remove that cover if you really needed to and place in a lot of items. So it makes it very practical. There's a 12-volt and some hooks too, so you could place your groceries or whatever bags you may have, and you can close it and lock it with those 2 buttons. So for its size, I think it gives you an adequate amount of space, even if you have passengers in the back. Now you can also unlock this using the door handles, so that's very convenient. And for the interior, this is the orange full leather interior paired with the Brooklyn Gray is a really nice contrast. On the door panel, you'll notice the 2-tone design, carbon fiber with all the brushed aluminum accents. We have a little bit of storage in the lower section, as well as the removable sunshade. So you can use that as needed. More leather is surrounding that. For these back seats, really nice design, especially with the stitching. The BMW colors are also stitched on the seat belts themselves. And then at 5'10", I have a good amount of space. I could easily ride around in the back. There's climate adjustments. These are even heated seats too, and some USB-Cs down at the bottom. And then I have 2 or 3 inches above my head. However, these seats also recline, which is really, really nice. Now I have a lot more headroom. I have a little bit more comfort in the back seat, so it doesn't feel all that tight for its size. Now right in the middle, there is the armrest along with 2 cup holders if you need to use those. And you can even fold down the middle seat individually if you need a little bit more space. Plenty of room too with the size of the windows in the back. We have that full moonroof, which is currently closed, of course, but a lot of space for the back, which is nice. Up front, driver door panel is just like the rear. There's the memory seating adjustments, all of the window controls, side mirror adjustments, power liftgate release, and more storage space. X3 M Comp is also down on the door sill, and a little bit more lateral support for these front seats with that two-tone design, all of the automatic adjustments, and then that manual leg support that you can adjust. This has the Harman Kardon sound system that I forgot to mention, but let's fire this up with my foot on the brake. We can bring this back to life. And looking at the gauge cluster, fuel level and miles per hour on the left side. Right side, there's the tach and the engine temperature. And currently you can see the driving modes that the vehicle is set up at the moment. If I use the button on the top of the turn signal stalk, you can go through the rest of that information where you can see what gear the vehicle is in. There's also a live readout for MPG, as well as some data information. There's PSI and temperature for your tires, some other vitals that you can monitor, even a live readout for horsepower and torque. So when you give the vehicle some gas, those will adjust accordingly. There's a G-force meter, music, and then we are back to that setting. So it's nice that you can pull that up front and center. Steering wheel is the M steering wheel, finished off in leather with all the stitching. It's also heated too. This does have adaptive cruise control, so you can go through all of those settings. On the right side, volume and tuning, as well as Bluetooth and voice commands. And if I push on that button in the middle, that is the shortcut to your audio settings. Now, being the competition, this has M1 and M2, which is how you can configure those driving modes. And we also have the brushed aluminum paddle shifters. Now on the left side, a little bit of storage all the way at the bottom, all of the headlight and parking light adjustments, along with one air vent. This does have the head-up display. It just shows miles per hour and the speed limit sign. However, you can also pull up the tach in full screen there, along with the miles per hour and the speed limit sign, depending on the driving mode that you are in. Now, with that different driving modes, there's road, sport, and track. So by putting it into sport mode, the gauge cluster will change. So that is what I just showed. Now we have sport mode, and then track is just going to shut off that infotainment system in the center. So if I activate track, we have a little bit more info on the left and the right side, and then strictly just the tach is on the head-up display along with the miles per hour. And then if I push on M mode, we can bring that screen back to life and go back to the normal drive modes. But now that we are in this screen, this is the last year for the X3 as far as having this technology. 2025 is going to be completely different with that new screen that a lot of the BMWs are having. So if you like this style, 2024 is the last year for it. On this left side, there's shortcuts into your music, phone. You can pull up the navigation, go into car. And of course, you can use everything down below to further go through that. So if we scroll up to the top, there's driving information. You can go into the sport displays to monitor all of that while you're out on the road. You can go into M menu. This is how you can configure M1 and M2. So those are how it's currently set up. I'll make sure to have M1 in efficient and M2 in Sport Plus when we get this out on the road. Now if we go back into car, you can go into your vehicle status settings, driver profiles, and then you can also go into apps for your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and look at whatever other apps that you'd like to go into. It's a very easy system to use, and it's still nice even compared to that newer screen. Either one, just depending on your preference. More carbon fiber surrounds underneath that with the brushed aluminum. And then this is for the intelligent safety. So this does have some tech features like forward collision, side collision, lane departure you can easily go into. Underneath that, there's a screen for the climate. So fan speed, temperature, you can see those and easily adjust them. And then this even has heated seats and a few other AC controls. Now there's power and volume for the radio, all of the presets and tuning, and then an X3 M Comp badge is just above this tray. It's currently open, so there's the wireless charging pad you can see, along with some auxiliaries and cup holders, and then you can hide those away as needed. Now on the right side, all of the shortcuts again for that upper screen. On the left side, there's traction control, even a shortcut to the camera system. So that is the rear-facing camera right now. If I put the vehicle into drive and push on that again, now we have that forward-facing camera, and then back to the rear-facing camera where you have a few different pinpoints there. There's even the 3D view, so that way you can use the screen or gesture control to go around the entire vehicle. Last one is going to be the car wash setting, or another top-down view that you can use as needed. So reverse is over and up to the left, drive is to the right along with sport mode, park is on the back side, and then you can even adjust the transmission shifts. Now also over here, traction control, parking sensors, engine start stop. M mode is how you go through the different modes like I showed earlier. There's setup, the exhaust, auto hold, e-brake, and even a downhill assist control. Now the glove box has a good amount of space with some auxiliaries, and then plenty of space is located in that glove box. Up top, we have the power operated sunshade that you can easily open up. Provides a lot of extra light for this interior, where you also have plenty of visibility over that right shoulder. Same with over your left shoulder. Very open feeling for this smaller size vehicle. There's also a call button up top, and then we have the dome lights too. As we set off now behind the wheel, it is crazy to think that an X3 has this amount of power and performance just because it's a very small SUV. But I just finished driving an M3 Competition with pretty much the same power. That has more torque, but very similar in the horsepower numbers, in more of a family style, a little bit more versatile of a vehicle. It sounds so good. And as we come around this right-hand turn, we'll drop it a few gears. And I'm blown away because it took that turn like I was in a sedan. So if you're looking for an SUV, you can tow a little bit with it, which is nice. If you want that all-around versatile SUV, you can tow, you can haul people, you still want something that is performance-oriented. I love how BMW can incorporate their performance into their SUVs and really give you a good handling vehicle. Even though it's much taller, of course, than sedans or their sports cars, this is a really cool option to go with. Now, at $90,000, it's an expensive, smaller vehicle. At 90 grand, you can get into Cadillac Escalades, you can get into even a BMW X3 which is a 3-row SUV. It won't have this power for the price comparison, but you can get larger SUVs. It just depends on what you're looking to do with your SUV. If you don't need something that large and you want something that gives you performance, this is a great option. If you want the flip-flop, just again, it depends on what you're looking to do. Personally, I really like the X3 and the X5. Those are my favorite of the BMW lineups. The X7, I would say, is in third place, but the X3, I think this is a great option to go with. And you can even shift or change how you want the transmission to shift. So in setting 1, it's kind of slow, a little bit more normal, laid back if you want to call it. You go into setting 3 and we're ready to race. It is a night and day difference, which I think is very cool. For the price tag, I can certainly see that being justifiable for the package that it offers. It's not too small, but of course it's not like an X5 if you wanted an X5 M Competition for a little bit larger of an SUV. And from second gear, here we go. Even coming around a turn, accelerating, it feels so planted and solid. You're talking just shy of 6 figures for this X3, right around $90,000. Is a lot of money, but when you factor in the type of vehicle that this is, the driving capabilities that it has, as well as its practicality, you're getting a pretty good all-around package. And I'm short shifting. There is so much more potential, almost twice as much as I'm doing today, which is insane to see. So my feedback babying the car is impressive. Can't imagine owning it and really ripping on it, just how much more capable this is. But behind the wheel now for the X3 M Comp, it's very nice. This is also the last year for this style, and what I'll say this generation of the X3. For 2025, We're going to get that large curved screen that BMW first introduced in the X7, and now it's trickling down into several of the other models. So for the X3, it falls in the 20-25 year category. So if you like this split design versus that new curved continuous screen there, now's the chance to get it if you like this setup. Personally, I do like the newer setup more. I like that larger screen. I like some of the features that it has, but that's just a personal opinion. I do like this system as well. It's a very easy system to use. So if you are looking for this, either way, they're going to be really nice. And I'm assuming that for 2025 might have a different shifter too. It might be that shorter style that a lot of people don't like, but it's not going to be as bulky as this. And then I'm sure there's some other cosmetic changes and things like that. So for now, this is the X3 M Comp that you can get. I really like it. I love all of the materials. You can spec it, of course, to your liking, depending on what you'd like inside. And it's just a nice overall vehicle. Personally, I have been looking at the X3 as an option for an SUV. It can tow a little bit. I'm not looking to tow a lot, but it has the towing capabilities for smaller trailers, things like that. And it's just a good all-around daily commuter. Now, I don't have personal experience daily driving it, but I've been in enough of them to know just how nice of a ride this is. And plenty of space. If you're not looking for a large SUV, it has a small footprint, so it's going to be easy to park, yet it still gives you an ample amount of interior space at the same time. And that's going to wrap it up for this 2024 BMW X3 M Comp. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Check out their website, give this a huge thumbs up, and smash that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.